Oh, hola, hello. Sorry, sorry for saying hola. Hola is hello because I'm gonna talk in English. On English. Hello, my name is Joseph, and I'm gonna talk about Chapo Escape or Chapo Guzman Escape, the escape of Chapo Guzman in 2015. I already made another video, and this is going to be the second part of the other video, and at the same time, it is going to be the video about that subject because I want to talk more. I want to talk more fast or faster in this video. I was studying electronics engineering or engineering in electronics in Morelia, Michoacan. Morelia is the city in Mexico or in the state called Michoacan. You can Google it. Michoacan is a state from Mexico, and Mexico is the country. For example, I started feeling suddenly. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to talk about many details right now before the thing that happened to me or that I want to talk about. I was studying electronics engineering or engineering in electronics in Morelia, Michoacan. And suddenly I started feeling I was emitting like a presence, like a giant sphere or of non-physical or of invisible energy or non-physical energy. And in that moment, my brain closed or my mind closed, and I started to feel like an energy inside my brain or like a non-physical energy inside my brain. For example, um, um, I didn't want to believe that energy was real. I believe it wasn't real because it was something. It was invisible, that energy, and I didn't have that concept of something not physical, like for example the soul. And for example, um, I went to the house to rest something descansar in Spanish, to descansar or a descansar in Spanish, because rest sounds like dying, like rest in peace. For example, I was avoiding that I was discovered or something like that because it was kind of connected to that energy. It was kind of connected with the superstitions that I had or that I have. And for example, when I wanted to step on some place on the floor, I have to step on another place. And when we're flying like helicopters, I don't know how to say it in English. I'm gonna search that word. Yes, the helicopters were flying around where I was. I had to do something like staying in a certain position or do something to do something. I don't remember what, and so that they couldn't find me or know that I was emitting that energy supposedly. And the same with planes, helicopters in Spanish are planes or aviones in Spanish. And then the day after, they said that Chapo Guzman escaped, or Joaquin Guzman Loera escaped, the drug lord in Mexico. And then I thought that it was connected with the other thing. So I thought that they thought that that energy was being emitted by Chapo Guzman or Joaquin Guzman Loera, and I don't want problems with him. I have been warned by my sister that I could get killed or assassinated if I talk about this, because supposedly this is a very serious topic or thing to talk about, or topic, right? For example, what else can I talk about? Yes, I was avoiding getting caught by the police or the army, el ejército, o la policía, the police, la policía in Spanish, or the army, el ejército in Spanish, the soldiers, I mean, the Mexican soldiers, los soldados in Spanish. And then I ended up hidden in Guadalajara. For example, my brother told me to take some pills, some medicine, because he thought that I was sick or something like that, and I took the pills. And then a friend of my family, a woman friend of my family, went to went to Christmas on Morelia, Michoacan, to the house that my brother rented. And for example, I wanted to avoid the superstitions that I had because of protecting my mom, and I started protecting my mom in circles like this or like this, but I think it was like this. And for example, um, I protected my mom in circles like this or like this, but I think it was like this. And then I just stopped protecting my mom with my brain. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I ran out of energy, or because I started protecting my mom in circles, and maybe that is why I couldn't keep protecting my mom with my brain, or protecting my mom with my brain. And then I had two theories. I had one theory that it was because I protected my mom in circles like this or like this, but I think it was like this. And then I stopped, stopped protecting her. And then after that, I forgot everything from my life because I didn't want to protect her anymore. I mean, I stopped protecting her, and at the same time I forgot everything because I didn't want to protect her. I didn't I wanted to forget what made me think that my mom was going to be hurt or killed by people, like that something bad will happen to my mom. So that is why I wanted to forget everything. But I did I stopped protecting her. I forgot everything, but I did it at the same time. I didn't stop protecting her first and then forget everything. For example, um, for example, and the other theory is that when I started emitting that energy or presence, that I call the way I call it, or I call it, it didn't appear that the person that it didn't appear because I was protecting my mom and I had the revelation that I killed some girls, that I was God, that people didn't hate me because and that they attacked me because I did those things, and I caused Thailand tsunami in 2004, or Indonesia tsunami in 2004. And for example, um, that I thought that it was it got combined, the fact that I was protecting my mom, or I was protecting my mom as very strongly or stronger than normal, and that revelation, and that caused that I was emitting that energy, right? And I had those theories that my soul or ghost got blocked because I started protecting my mom in circle like this or like this, but I think it was like this, and then I stopped protecting her, and at the same time I forgot everything because I didn't want to keep protecting her, and I didn't want to protect her anymore. And the other here is that the presence didn't appear because I was protecting her, or protecting her stronger than normal, and it got combined with the revelations that I had, and the first is that my soul got blocked, or that my ghost got blocked because the soul is a ghost, or the soul is like a ghost, or what I mean by a soul is a ghost. It's like it's a ghost, or like a ghost, or is a ghost. The soul is a ghost. I mean that I have a ghost, or I'm a ghost, or a ghost in a physical body, right? And for example, what else? How many? It already happened a lot of time, and I wanna keep saying this, and then, for example, after that, I had a car accident, and I guess it was because I wasn't reasoning well anymore. But before that, I could drive to Cihuatanejo, Guerrero. The state is Guerrero, Mexico, and Cihuatanejo is the city in Guerrero, or in Mexico. And I could drive well from Morelia to Cihuatanejo, which is like 4 hours of driving, or of travel. And I traveled many times. I drove, sorry, without many times from Morelia to Cihuatanejo, and Cihuatanejo for Morelia, or only in one direction. I don't remember which. I think it was. I think I drove from both directions, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It was like 2014 or 2015. For example, yes, I felt that energy, and then my dad called me and he told me that um, my mom wanted to declare me like interdict, yeah, or interdicto in Spanish, which means like crazy, or something like that. That I couldn't, that I'm not able to think by myself, or something like that. And then I escaped from the house in Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico, and then I went to say that it wasn't true, but it was true and not at the same time, because I was bad. I mean, I was in good state, but uh, I didn't believe that it was permanent. It was something permanent or something like that. And but yes, I said the truth, and I lied. I lied at the same time. I said that nothing happened to me, or nothing bad happened to me, and something was happened to me. But I thought that it was something temporal. I mean, that it wasn't forever or for too much time, that it wasn't last too much time, it was only a few years maybe. And then I went to live with my dad here in Guadalajara. I am living in Guadalajara right now. For example, my dad made some legal paperwork so that he could get the money that my mom was getting from my dad back to him or back to ours, because my mom didn't give me my money. She managed the money, so she didn't give me all the money. For example, um, yes, I escaped. I went to Morelia and I went to Cihuatanejo to declare that I wasn't crazy or insane. Um, and I lied too because I was crazy or insane, but it wasn't permanently. I mean, it wasn't forever or I didn't believe that it was going to be for too much time, only maybe a few years or months. For example, um, for example, um, for example, my dad got his money back, the food pension. That is how it is called in Mexico. I don't know how it is called in USA, in the US or in the United States. It is like pensión alimenticia. Alimenticia is like food, or it's like feeding or something which is about food. That's why I say food pension or something like that. I don't know how to say it in English really. I need to reset that. Maybe I'm gonna do it right now. It is translated as child support. Yes, the child support that my mom received from my dad. She managed the money and she didn't give me all the money to she didn't give all the money to me. Give me all the money, or she managed the money. She manage it or manage the money. And then my dad sued my mom so that he could get that money back. And then um, and then for example, yes, for example, for example, for example, for example, he made something. My dad made something so that I could get the child support money to into my bank account, and I got it. I get the money into my bank account, and I didn't feel well living in my dad's house, in the house of my dad, because he told me that he was going to rent me a place, another place, because he lives with his wife or his second wife or his woman, and the daughter of his wife or second wife or his woman, the daughter of his wife or his second wife or his woman. For example, I didn't feel comfortable living with my dad there with uh, with his wife and or second wife and the daughter of the wife or second wife. And then escaped from the I escaped from his house or the house that he rents. I don't know if it is his house or if it is rented or something like that. And then I took with me the my bank card, and then I received the money, and I was living with that money, and I rented in a hotel and a cheap hotel or a cheap hotel, and then I went to rent like a room in a house here in Guadalajara, in the center of Guadalajara, or in downtown of Guadalajara, in the downtown of Guadalajara. I don't know if it is the same center and downtown. I think this is similar or the same. And and I mean is centro is el centro de Guadalajara, the center of Guadalajara, the center of Guadalajara or Guadalajara's center, and the center of Guadalajara or the downtown of Guadalajara. And I lived there, and I started to write everything, like trying to remember everything, right? And for example, uh, I was a little bit worried, 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 because I thought that it would take me like 5 years to remember everything, and I had the theory that my soul got blocked or my ghost got blocked. Sorry, my ghost got blocked because I started protecting my moon circles because I wanted to avoid the superstitions like this or like this. By the time it was like this, and then I stopped protecting her. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I started protecting her like her like this, and maybe it wasn't possible to do that. And then I stopped protecting her or something like that, and I forgot everything, or I started to forget everything. I stopped protecting her. I started to protect her like this or like this, but I think it was like this. I stopped protecting her, and then I forget everything, or I forgot everything of my life at the same time. And I think I thought that my soul got blocked or my ghost got blocked, and then I thought that it was because I forgot everything. Then I started to type in everything on my laptop, a mini laptop, and a small laptop, a very slow laptop that I had or that I have because I still have it. And then I received like the money that you get at the end of the year, the aguinaldo. I'm gonna search that word. I'm gonna share that word. It says that aguinaldo is like bonus. Aguinaldo is something like people gifts at parties, at birthdays, um, like like bags of with candies or something like that. But it is about money, the money that you get in a year, like that is more than what they pay you normally all the year, the rest of the year. It's like the money that they give you on Christmas or at the end of the year. And I received like 20,000 pesos, which is like 1,000 pesos, dollars, sorry, $1,000, more or less, depending of the cost of the value of the dollar at that time in 2015 or 2016. But I don't remember the year. I think it was 2015 or 2016, but I think it was more like 2016 than 2015 because it made sense with many things, but I don't remember. I don't remember really or real. Really, I don't remember real or really or well. And then I bought a laptop with that money because I thought that, for example, if I didn't buy a laptop, what was going to happen to me is that I was going to spend all that money, the 20,000 pesos or $1,000, more or less, depending on the value of the dollar at that time. I don't remember how much it cost at that time. And I bought a laptop. It cost like 8,900 pesos, like almost like 9,000 pesos. I don't know how much is in dollars. I don't care. You can make the conversion to. I don't know how. I don't know how to say that in English. I don't know how to say the change. I think that's the right word or conversion from pesos to dollars, American dollars. And then when I got into the room where I was living or I was renting, I started. I had a revelation that what didn't let me stop protecting my mom or didn't stop um, um, didn't let me est- what didn't let me to stop emitting that presence. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if it's correct to translate it like that. What didn't let me stopping to emit that energy or that presence, it was the same presence, right? I mean, like for example, I was remembering something that something I was remembering that something happened after I started to emit that presence, right? Or that energy, or after that I had that revelation that I killed some girls in a past life without a body, sin en español sin un cuerpo, en español, without a body, and that I was God, and that I am God, and that people that doesn't hate me, that they attack me because of that, and that I caused Thailand tsunami in 2004 or Indonesia tsunami in 2004, and that it was the same revelation, the same presence or energy that didn't let me stop emitting that energy, right? I mean, because I remember, or I was remembering that something happened after that, but I didn't remember. But the revelation said that it was the same thing that didn't let me to stop emitting that thing. So I don't know. And then the presence went away or disappeared. I stopped emitting that energy or that presence, and um, then I stopped having that energy or so much of that energy, but I still have that energy, and my brain is hard. I feel like an energy inside my brain, right? And the problem that I have is that, I mean, that I mean, uh, because the revelation I had is that it was because I was protecting. It wasn't because I that it was the I started to emit the presence. Not be it was I didn't start to emit the presence because I was protecting my mom or protecting my mom with my brain or stronger than or sorry, it was a cockroach, and that I didn't start to emit that presence or energy because I was protecting my mom or protecting my mom with my brain, but it was because it wasn't because of that only that it just appeared that energy, right? That presence or energy, that it wasn't because I was protecting my mom or because I was protecting my mom stronger than normal, right? And that's a problem because that's the explanation supposedly that, and it means that it wasn't because my soul got blocked or because my ghost got blocked. I mean, because I started protecting my mom like this or like this, but I remember it was like this, and I stopped protecting her, and I forgot everything, or I I started to forget everything at the same time, and my soul got blocked, and the revelation said that it wasn't because of that, and the problem is that I have my brain hard. I feel like an energy. I still have that energy in my brain. And for example, the other problem is that um, the other problem is that, for example, reality is like very reality is very I don't know how to say it, like I don't even know the word in Spanish. I mean, very bad with me. I don't know how to say it. I think there's another word, or I need another word, but I don't know. Very. The problem is that reality is very. Um, I don't know the word. Very bad, very bad with me. For example, very. I don't remember the word. I'm not going to remember it. And for example, the problem is logic or reality or the laws of physics. For example, the laws of logic. For example, how can I compare words? For example, I started to see that I can explain a computer how it works or something like that. For example, the hard drive, how does so much information fit into a hard drive? And for example, I don't see evidence of atoms, that everything is made of atoms. But yes, that's my problem. For example, before that, I remember that I used to think that everything has like a shape or something, or form, or shape, or form, or shape, or form, or shape, and forma in Spanish. And I don't see that things have shape, And for example, I don't perceive cells in the human body. I perceive the human body something simple or something simple without cells, but I think it is grown or is probably grown. I mean, it's very likely that cells exist or partially exist. I mean that because I believe in the soul. I believe there is a contradiction between the soul and the between the soul and cells, right? I mean, how can the soul and exist and cells exist? I mean, it is a contradiction, but it could still both exist. I mean, that the cells exist and the soul exists, and that the soul moves the body, right? Not that the body moves by itself, right? For example, right, I started to design on freelancer.com, the website for freelancers, or for example, graphic designers, or for example, graphic designers or programmers, right? And for example, I had like a telepathy or second telepathy or superstitions, and that didn't let me to design well, right? And then, for example, I typed my password of the freelancer website on the username, and then I feared that somebody will enter my account, so I changed the password, but I didn't write it because I thought that the lady that rented me the room that I was renting, that she will hear the password, so I didn't write it down on paper, and I thought it would be safe on the browser, right? But it didn't happen, and I still have had the account open, but it closed suddenly. It closed after that, and I wanted to remember the password, but I couldn't remember the password, and I wanted to believe that telepathy didn't exist because I thought that if telepathy exists, I couldn't remember password. So I started to study if telepathy exists or not. And for example, I couldn't determine that. And the video is going to end soon. And for example, then I realized that I couldn't remember the password. I mean, I didn't determine if telepathy exists or not, but I couldn't disprove telepathy exists. I couldn't see that telepathy didn't exist. For example, I created another email and then asked to recover the account in freelancer.com or on freelancer.com, and then I recovered the account. And then, for example, I started to design now without so much like seeing if telepathy exists or not. And when I realized that I couldn't make any money or on freelancer.com, I realized that telepathy exists, and I remembered that telepathy exists. So I remember that telepathy exists, or now I remember. Oh, I remember that telepathy exists, or now I remember that telepathy exists. And I don't know why I forget that telepathy exists, but I think like I cannot have like two telepathies, right? Like now, like I have like two telepathies. The normal telepathy, which is like the one I have always had, and the other which I had always had too, from a young age, from being a kid, from since I was a kid, or from birth. and yes, I had both the normal one and the one because of protecting my mom, and that combines with that it gets combined with the normal telepathy. So I don't know what to think, and I don't feel the presence right now. I feel the presence, but a little bit. For example, I don't know how the computer works, and I can preserve the information in the computer, and it is very annoying for me because I can preserve the information forever, or I can preserve the information at all, or for very long time. And yes, I don't know what is happening to me. For example, I don't perceive cells or something like that, and I don't perceive atoms. For example, I have seen hard drives inside, or the disk of the hard drive, and for example, it looks like something simple. I mean, it doesn't look like cells, and it looks similar like a spoon, or like a metallic spoon, or like a metal spoon. And for example, I started to study if the metal spoon it is made of atoms, and I don't see that it is made of atoms. So the problem is that I don't understand how the computer works. For example, how is the information stored on the computer? I mean, because it is a very small size, the hard drive, or the hard drive in a laptop. So I don't understand how it works, or something like that, and it is very annoying. For example, I don't, if atoms don't exist, I don't know how it is stored the information in a computer or laptop, on or in the hard drive of a computer or of a laptop. I'm not sure that atoms don't exist, but I was searching on the internet if atoms exist, and some people said that they don't exist or something like that. So I don't know how the computer can work if atoms don't exist, or if everything is not made of atoms. And for example, I see something simple in my body, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't perceive cells. I mean, it is very difficult for me to believe in cells, and the video is going to end soon. And I think that I'm going to make only two videos: the former one from this one, the one that I talk about Chapo Guzman, and this one. And there's like 1 minute or a little bit more than 1 minute left. And yes, and I don't know what to say, and it bothers me the logic of reality or something like that, and everything is very annoying. And I'm gonna make more videos tomorrow or something like that, and yes, about the same thing, but I already explained you more things that happened to me, and that's all. And I'm gonna make more videos, right? The video is gonna end soon. It is a few seconds, right? I guess. No, it is like a minute more. No, yes, less than 1 minute. And I'm going to stop something, anything, and I don't know what to say really. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. The video is gonna end soon, and I'm gonna make more videos, or I don't know if I'm gonna make another video right now, or tomorrow, or after after now. I mean, maybe tomorrow or in a few hours. After a few hours, I don't know. The video is gonna end soon. End soon.